All right, this is Alan from the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm joined with Larry Rothschild. So you're the very first Rays manager here. What do you think about that?
It was interesting. I know that. You know, there's a history there, but it was great. I mean, it was a nice opportunity. You know, everybody says you get hired to get fired for an expansion team, and I didn't want to believe it, but at the end of the day, there's some truth to it. But we settled here. We ended up living here and still do. So it was great. The kids were raised here, and we have a very close attachment to Tampa.
Yes. And the fact that you got that opportunity, I mean, I know that things have changed, but the fact that you were the first, talk about that.
Well, when you do it, you don't really think about that. But now that I'm retired, I look back and go, it's pretty cool that happened that way. And, I'm just fortunate. I was lucky to be around a lot of good people, and a lot of good things happened. So I think fortune smiled on me, and especially for this area, because there's just so many great people down here.
And we're here at the Tampa Baseball Museum. Talk about the museum and your feelings about it.
I was here a few weeks ago and didn't know about it. It's really one of the hidden gems here in Tampa, and people come to this area and they don't come to the museum, they're making a big mistake, because it's not a huge ask. It's a small museum, and you can go through it in an hour or so, but it is such a cool experience. I was blown away by it when I came, and I've told everybody about it since then, and I just would like to see them really do well, because the people here love baseball and they really care. And I think this is one of the hidden gems here, no doubt.
And talk about Joe Maddon and Rick Vaughn, the two people, the headliners here. Talk about your friendship with them and how much they've meant to baseball.
Well, Rick was a PR guy when I was with the Rays, and the situations he had to deal with, it was baptism by fire. I mean, everybody knows Vince wasn't the most gracious guy, I'll say, and Vince and Rick had to deal with a lot of that. So, and then Joe, I mean, I have years on the opposite side of the field from Joe, and going back and forth and realizing what a great manager and what he did here. It's pretty amazing, the teams they put together and the way they did it. It was very innovative, and yet there was always the old school there, that you play the game the right way. But I have a lot of respect for the way he did things as a manager.
And finally, you got a two-time champion. Talk about the fact that you're a World Series champ.
Well, the seventh inning of or the 11th inning, the seventh game of the World Series against Cleveland when I was with the Marlins it's a moment that you just kind of freeze in time, and it's funny because there's no nerves involved. It's you've done everything, you've gone through the whole gamut, and you're in the 11th inning, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So when I look back, I think it was the most relaxing time I've had, because there wasn't anything else we could do. And then with Lou, with the Cincinnati Reds, we swept Oakland, and we were supposed to get swept. And what I remember about that is, before the series started, I was in the locker room, in the coach's room, and Lou came in, and it was just the two of us. And he never, ever talked like this, but he looked at me and goes, "They think we're going to get swept, and we're going to sweep them." And I was like, okay. Yeah. I was 34 years old, I think, and it was just so much fun. And you know what? It was my first year coaching in the major leagues, and you think it's going to happen over and over, and it's not that easy.
So, any thoughts about you coaching again? Any thoughts about that?
No. It would have to be a really good situation. I would think about it, but there would have to be factors involved that would be hard to come by in today's world. But I still love the players and love to be around the game, and I don't watch a lot of it now, but I still stay in touch with a lot of players, and my involvement is, if I can help kids, I do. But I would have to think long and hard about it. I'm not, I'll never say never, but it would have to be a good situation.
And on behalf of the Tampa Baseball Museum, they really appreciate you coming out supporting.
Well, thank you very much. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's great. Just the people around here, they love baseball and they know the history of it, and I'm telling you, this museum is really something else.
Yes. Come out to the Tampa Baseball Museum, y'all. You heard it from Larry Rothschild. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.